Look, I really don't think this is going to go well at all for the occupying forces that are occupying our cities right now. I really don't. Some keep asking in lives, what are we going to do? What is it that we need to do? What can we do? There's a lot we can do. We're doing the right things by doing the marching and all that stuff. That's right. That's a rightful thing to do because we're honoring. When you're marching and you're peacefully protesting, you are honoring us. You are honoring you are honoring the Marines who are now on gate guard duty in heaven. You are honoring every soldier, every sailor, every airman, every guardian, every coaster. You're honoring all of us by doing that. We honored you, those of us who did. We honored you by not breaking our word to you and obeying the Constitution and not following unlawful orders. We honored you by doing that. You honored us in turn when we came home by doing those things, putting yourselves on the line by doing that. And some of us have decided we're going to march with you. Now, what do I see happening? Well, I'll be brutally honest. I see an insurgency brewing. Because the brutal fact of it is, we are under paramilitary occupation. We are under police state occupation right now. ICE is an occupying force. Our own government has been sent to occupy our cities and terrorize the public. State-sponsored terrorism. That's literally what's happening. So what? Some of them do it in plain clothes, wearing level 4 flak vests and stuff like that under their clothes. Others do it in full tactical gear. Masked, refusing to identify themselves, literally kidnapping people, raping women, and that kind of stuff. Literally ripping people out of their homes, kicking in doors, a direct violation of the First and Fourth Amendments. Refusing to comply with the law that says that ICE has no jurisdiction, no authority to detain American citizens. I could go on and on and on. They're lawless. They're straight up and down lawless. If local and state law enforcement in large part won't do anything about this, they won't rein them in, well, what do we do? Well, I think the only thing that I see coming, and it's not good, is I see a literal insurgency force brewing. I see it. Why? I mean, how can I recognize that? I went to Fallujah, for crying out loud. If you want to know what an insurgency looks like, ask an Iraqi freedom veteran like myself. Ask an enduring freedom veteran. Ask a Vietnam era veteran. We all fought an insurgency. We have all fought insurgencies. We know what they look like. ICE is not prepared to fight an insurgency. They'll lose. Now, the problem's going to come when they when they use the National Guard. That's going to be a problem for them, not the insurgency. Because the National Guard are people who live in the community. They're not going to be willing to turn their weapons on the civilian populace, and they're not going to, no matter how much they're briefed. Many of them won't drink the Kool-Aid, and those that do, that's going to create problems for them. That's a fight they're going to lose. Suspend posse comitatus. You have the same problem with active duty forces. Oh, we'll just deputize the Proud Boys. That's not going to work out well either, because most of them joined ICE anyway. You don't really have many of them left. A people determined to be free, you can't defeat a people like that. Ask the Russians when they tried to conquer Afghanistan. Ask us when we tried to conquer Afghanistan. You get where I'm going with this? I'm not advocating for violence on any level, but I'm telling you, I'm answering your question. What's coming? An insurgency is coming. ICE does not know how to fight an insurgency. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be extremely violent. I am not advocating for this. I'm telling you, that's what I see happening in the very, very near future. I see people doing that because ICE and this administration have backed the American people into a corner. They've declared war on every American citizen, every man, woman, and child in this country. They've branded all of us domestic terrorists just because we disagree with Trump. Even those of you that are wearing red hats and still the true believers still do the same thing to you. It doesn't matter. I mean, shit. No disrespect to anybody here, but white women, you found out the hard way that they're willing to target you too. So now they understand that. White community generally now understands that, and they're like, well, what the fuck? Okay, now they're angry, and they're like, okay, all right, they're starting to see all that stuff that black women have been telling you that we, the diaspora, have gone through since this country's inception. Now you understand it, you get it. The question now is, now that you get it and you understand it, what are you going to do? The answer is, there's going to be an insurgency. Other content creators won't say it. I will say it. Europe is closing its doors to us. Asia is closing its doors to us. Africa has already said, fuck you, under no circumstances will we even talk to you until you get yourself straight. Mexico and Canada have locked us out of any kind of trade deals and made trade deals with each other and with China. And with Europe. The entire world is isolating us until we get our shit straight. And the only way this shit is ever going to get straight, since politicians, yes, on both sides, Democrats and Republican, are both in on it, it's going to take an insurgency to get us free. And that's what's happening. That's what's going to happen. Not fear-mongering. Of course, MAGA, you're going to be writing in the comments, oh, you fear-mongering. Yeah, well, you either stand with the government or you stand with the people. So time to test all that don't tread on me shit, won't we? If you're out there standing with ICE, you're treading on people. You get it? You are if you are helping ICE, you're helping a tyrannical government. Period. I know you don't want to hear that. I don't give a fuck what you want to hear. I don't say what you want to hear. That's the difference between me and a lot of other content creators. I'm not here to stroke your overbloated ego. I'm here to shrink it down. So that's what it is. Again, do I advocate for this? No. I'm just telling you what's coming. An insurgency in this country will begin in the next few days. That's the way I see it. I hope I'm wrong about this, and sincerely hope I'm wrong. And that this can be resolved through peaceful means. That's what I want. But with the obsession and the drunkenness for power that this regime has, and the white supremacist ideology behind it that's driving it, no. Nope. Other things are going to happen. And that is what hurts. That's what breaks my heart, because that's not what I fought for. I certainly didn't fight for this dictatorship that's happening right now, but people are determined to be free. And if fuck you is the answer, fuck you is the answer. Right now, it's looking like fuck you is the answer. I wish I were wrong about that. In my heart, deepest heart, I wish I were wrong. But again, I say what people are scared to say. There's an insurgency brewing in this country. And it's against this government, and it's going to be very ugly. And martial law won't mean a fucking thing. Yeah. The government has to stop this shit. Do things the right way. Do right by the American people and take the bullseye off of all of our backs. Stop calling. I'll tell you what. You want to stop being called Nazis? Stop acting like it. You want to stop being called the Gestapo, ICE? Stop acting like it. MAGA, you want to not be called Nazis and white supremacists? Stop acting like it. You always like to throw Ashley Babbitt in our faces. Ashley Babbitt was in full violation of the law. She didn't have authorization to be in the Capitol. She literally broke into the Capitol and didn't comply with law enforcement, with the Secret Service, and that's what happened to her. So since you want to say some really negative things about Renee Nicole Good and Keith Porter, well, I guess she got what she deserved, didn't she? Should I say the same thing about Charlie Kirk? I could go there. If you really want to get dirty, I'll say something about Laken Riley too. Oh, she came from another state. Do you have that same energy for, what's his face? Rittenhouse? Right? No, you don't. So, the moral of the story is, you can be a part of the solution, MAGA, but it's your choice. Make a good choice.
funny shit? Why don't we overthrow the government? Like, really think about it. Okay, look. So, for instance, I make $19 an hour, right? I make roughly $800 a paycheck. By the time my actual paycheck hits, I make around $600. They take around 25%, give or take, of your paycheck. What do they give you from it? I mean, look at the fucking roads. Like, listen to this shit. You hear that? You hear that fucking bumping and shit? That's not my car. You hear that? That's not my car. That's the road. Okay, they don't give us free healthcare. They don't pay for your education whatsoever. Right? They don't pay for college. They make kids who are in elementary school pay for their lunches. Do you hear this? This is the roads. What do they do for us? The school system is a joke. For instance, the state I live in, Kentucky, we're 42nd in education. So the roads are shitty. The healthcare is terrible. I mean, the education's... Why do we pay taxes? We pay taxes so the government can fund all of this. Where does our money go? Realistically, where does it go? Also, on top of that, these corporations can make hundreds of millions of dollars off your labor and pay you change, pocket change, and the government's okay with it. I think, just for example, for Walmart, the federal government has to step in and provide SNAP benefits to Walmart employees to make their wages livable. Walmart underpays their employees so bad, I think the government shells out roughly like $20 billion a year just to Walmart employees. I think, just for reference, Walmart last year made $600 billion. That's billion with a B. With a B. 600 billion. But we see none of this money. And people are going to try to fool you to make you think it's a right or a left thing, when realistically, it's a poor versus rich thing. They exploit the hell out of you, give you nothing in return, profit off your sickness, profit off your misfortune. If you go get sick, guess what? You're making the government richer. That doctor that has to treat you, he's getting taxed in his paycheck. They're taxed in the procedure. They're taxed in the medicine they sell you. The government gets more money off your misfortune. And realistically, when you add it all up, taxes, you add up food, gas, healthcare, auto insurance, your tags, you're paying more than 25% in taxes. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous how the government operates and how much they get away with and how people aren't angry. Like, I was at work yesterday and I was just thinking, they're making like $5,000 per part we make and giving us pocket change for it. And these people are okay with it. Like, they're not mad. They're not angry. Nobody's angry. It's so embarrassing. And then think about it, Israel. We just locked in a 20-year deal where we have to get into a no, we can't ask any questions. If they want a war, we have to go to war for them for 20 years, on top of giving them $6 billion a year. Guess what? Israel has free healthcare. They have free education. We're funding their free education and healthcare, and nobody's mad about it. There's no plan being formed. There's no revolution starting. Everybody's okay with it. They refuse to give up their little bit of comfort just to make a difference. Like, real talk, this is infuriating. Like, it's infuriating. And our parents let it happen. Our grandparents let it happen. They didn't put up a fight. They took the knee so the government could do this shit. If you look at the cost of living from the 60s to now, it is night and day. Back then, you could live off one income, get a house within 6 years of working, own it completely, own it outright, have a new car every year, and still have money left over while having 2 kids and a wife on one fucking income. Nowadays, good luck. If both of you are working, you're barely getting by in a 2-bedroom apartment, and nobody's angry. Like, real shit, I'm furious talking about this. Is nobody mad? We're not angry enough. We're not fucking angry enough.
When the fuck is enough? All we do is work to barely get by. We pay our bills, we pay our rent, and we scrape up the pennies to try to put food on our table. We are not living a dream. We living the worst nightmare we ever could imagine, and tomorrow's gonna be worse. We get many content creators on here, and they always trying to pull people in so we can stop this shit, man. If we all stand together and say, you know what? It isn't going to get any better. Stop every fucking thing. I don't give a fuck what it is. People afraid, I might lose my house. You're gonna lose it any fucking way. But at least be a man or a woman and fight for this motherfucker while you got the opportunity to do it. If 500,000 come together and go door to door if you have to, I don't give a damn. But to try to end the shit that we live in, man, this is not living. I don't know what the fuck you call this anymore. I'm tired. I know millions of y'all are tired. Everybody black out the system. Let's boycott that store, boycott that. Fuck everything. Fuck your job, fuck church, fuck stores, fuck every fucking thing, man. Till they have no choice but to listen to what the fuck we got to say and how we gonna do it now, man. ICE taking over and people upset, but they not stopping. Why? Because they know we ain't gonna come together strong enough to stop shit in this country. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm tired of living like this, bro. Out of all the years I've been on this motherfucking earth, I never would have imagined it'd get to the point where I'm working myself to death just so I can manage myself in my own fucking home. People, we gotta come with something better. TikTok, you know what what's gonna happen? They gonna take this motherfucker. When they find out we are finally coming together, they gonna say, fuck TikTok, shut them down. And everybody gonna go back to their fucked up lives like they've been living. If it takes us to send emails, give each other's phone number, I don't give a fuck. Or have a meeting place in every city. And say on a certain day, everybody go. And everybody that come to that motherfucker, I don't give a damn. We march the streets. We go door to door. And we convince everybody. It's time to shut this bitch down, man. I'm tired of living like this, and I know y'all are too. Find a day, find something. Let's do this shit for real this time. And it ain't black or white. Every fucking American is being, how can I say, affected by this shit, man. We got to do better, bro. We got to stop this shit. I'm tired, and I know y'all are.
What the fuck are we doing on this earth, man? Every day, most of us wake up and go to a job that we really don't fucking like, but we can't really quit because we got to get the money to pay the bills that they say it's important to pay. What the fuck is the point of this life, man? We go to grocery stores and buy food that God gave us for free. Why the fuck did we pay for lights? Well, that's just the way it is. Fuck you. I'm tired of all this that's just the way it is bullshit. This whole fucking system is garbage. America ain't nothing but a big-ass fucking plantation, man. A big-ass fucking plantation. What the fuck are we doing here? There are days I don't want to be on this earth. And I'm not saying I want to unalive myself and nothing like that. But I'm tired, man. It's like, what the fuck is the point of any of this? To work till we 60, 70 years old? Most of us ain't gonna fucking live to see 50. But we gotta work to maybe retire. Man, fuck you and all that bullshit, man. I don't give a fuck about who president, left, right, and all this dumbass shit. I'm tired of this whole fucking game, man. It's a big-ass game. It's a big-ass charade. America is a fucking plantation. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say about it, man. This shit is exhausting. Like, I don't even want to look for...
All right, shalom, 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 shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, going honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to my elders, my apostles, a great millstone, which are the men that rule well and taught us his truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations be to the elect. And Lord's will title will be America will explode from within before the missiles come. Now the inspiration of this comes from social media. I was listening to some older gentlemen on TikTok that are war veterans and other various other factions of Jake that are on the internet speaking on the civil war that's brewing here in America. And I'm gonna post the clips, Lord's will, in the post-production. But anybody with sense knows that, you know, what's up and coming right now is nothing but evil. All right, and for the wickedness that America has done, you know, now there's not gonna be peace for Esau in America. You know, all the wickedness that he's done, there's no way that he's going to reap any type of positivity. That's why he's losing his country. He's losing his mind. The people are losing it because of the wickedness that he has done. Nothing good is coming. That's why America will explode from within. All right. And basically, the civil war that's going on, all the mess that's going on in America is prophecy. And it's a beautiful thing to see Edomites losing at this level. And it's also vexing to see these guys win for so long. But it's hilarious now to see that they're overnight, they're every day they're losing it. But the people are losing it first. Society, all races, right? They're losing their shit because Esau is such a damn demon. All he wants to do is oppress, tax you and feed you garbage and feed you literal poison, feed your mind poison. All right, but retribution has to come, payment has to come, judgment has to come. This is Job 20:5 that the triumphing of the wicked is sure and the joy of the hypocrite before a moment. So, the triumphing of the wicked, man, is very short. And you can see now he's falling. Esau isn't what he used to be, man. And he ain't been the shit since the 50s. Esau ain't been shit since the 50s, 60s. All right, because the 60s really was the beginning of his downfall. He's been downhill from there. All right, when you do your research on history, right? So, the joy of the hypocrite, because he's the biggest hypocrite. It was before a moment, So, now you see Esau, all right, on his... Salah, let me put this in D&D. Now you see Esau on his way out of here. Straight loser in this society. All right? And, what's it called? His society is on a complete decline. The politicians are wicked. The Epstein files, there's things that you can, look up. And that's a shameful spewing on his glory. All right? But the ultimate thing that he's been brewing is a civil unrest in this place. All right? That's why that's going to happen, because he's such a big demon and he's oppressing the people so much to the point where the people are going to have no choice but to try to rise up. All right? They're going to have no choice but to pick up arms, because Esau, he's writing these unrighteous decrees. He's trying to take away the right of everybody, take everybody's rights away and take away their money, because, you will own nothing and be happy. Right? That's his motto, right? That's what George Soros said, right? I believe I'm not mistaken. I believe it was George Soros. It might not have been George Soros. It might have been somebody else. I forgot the Edomite's name that said that. But that's the Edomite's whole mentality. It doesn't matter which one said it, which one didn't. They all think like that. That's what the elites think. You will own nothing and be happy, right? And they want to kill the majority of the people. So the people are going to have no choice but to rebel. Job 20:18, that which he labored, I'm going to skip down to verse 18 because I'm in Job 20 still. It says, for that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. Because he hath oppressed and forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. So this is straight oppression. What does Scripture say in Micah 2? He oppressed a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. So for that, he has to not feel quietness in his belly, and he's going to pay. That's why the Lord is plaguing his country the way that he's plaguing it. If the Lord really was with America, we wouldn't have economic issues. The common folk would not complain about grocery prices. I went grocery shopping yesterday. I bought about 70% of what I actually wanted to get, and I spent almost $200. And I didn't even go to a name brand place, I keep it simple. I ain't complaining because I know I'm in hell and I know I'm in slavery. But everybody else, the people that believe, we don't believe in the American dream. These people do. These people think that they're going to be here forever, so that's why they trip on groceries being high and not being able to buy a house, because they expect to be here for the next 50, 60 years. But hey, they have every right to behave like that because they think that this is their world. They think this is their end all be all. So that's why these people are like, well, I can't get a house. I can't afford a brand new car. I can't barely afford groceries, but I got my gun. That's the people's mentality. That's the plagues that's coming for America. Right? So this is Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. And that's the divide that you see happening today, man. The fellow Americans are going to be killing each other because of, hey, the scriptures say the lack of bread. I'm going to read it in 2 Esdras 15, right? But this is a plague upon America. This is the Lord plaguing America for the wickedness that it's done, man, you know? That's why it's Egyptian versus Egyptian. That's why you see people fighting, ready to fight against each other. You got the Gravy Seals, those Edomites on, right? Talking about, oh, I'm ready to go to war. Hey, they ain't playing, though. You know, no, a lot of them are out of shape and, you know, don't know how to shoot moving targets. But, hey, they going to try. Believe that. These Edomites is for real. They dead serious. You know, only Jake is pity-patting. You know? And it's very true because I'm going to post one of the videos in the post-production. This one Jake was like, oh, while you niggas is buying Jordans and designer sneakers, these boys is spending money on firearms and bullets. And he's not lying. You know, most of the Edomites I work with, all they yap about is how they find discounts on ammunition and are stocking up. And it's funny because they used to say, oh, one day, you know, guns are going to be illegal in Virginia. And as somebody who grew up in VA, you know, I never thought I'd see the day where they actually did propose a bill, and it looks like they're passing it to actually ban firearms in Virginia, the whole state, right? These are the times that we're in. We're in times where Esau is locking shit down. Esau is not playing. He is losing his kingdom, so he's going to do everything in his power to lock it in, to try to keep it, right? And in this verse 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail. Who's lucky? The spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. Right? And you see, man, Donald Trump is fitting this to a T right now, man. All right, he's what's it called? He's being that cruel lord. Okay? And look what he's doing. You know, giving ICE more funding. You know, doesn't mind killing people. You know, that's the least an Edomite will do is kill somebody. You know? This man Esau, it does not hate blood, the scriptures say. Since thou hast not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. Right? And what these different legislations is doing nothing but making people criminals and giving the government, the federal government, the right, quote unquote, to come and kill you. You know? Yes, that's the time we're living in. I'm going to skip down to verse 14. Then I'm ended off in 2 Esdras 15. And yeah, I'm going to skip around a bit. And I know, you know, some of y'all might think we sound like a broken record. But this is the hot topic. This is what is worth talking about right now. This is prophecy right here. We're not living in normal times. Let me tell you something. Edomite woman getting popped by the cops. Right? America's sweetheart getting popped by the police. Whether it was real or not is a big deal. Why is it a big deal, you might say? Is it because the Edomite woman's life is worth something? Absolutely not. That's not what it is. What it is that it goes to show Esau don't give a shit who's in his way right now. He will kill you. You know? He wants you to rebel. Dang it. All right, Salaki had a little interruption. Yeah, so where I left off was Isaiah 19 and 14. Let me see. Yeah. Right, Khan. So, like I had read in the prior verses, you know, in verse 4, the fierce king Donald Trump, man, he going in, you know, he's causing a ruckus, you know, giving ICE full immunity. Well, they haven't done that yet, but they're giving ICE more funding. As of right now, I'm not sure if they've actually given them full immunity just yet. They're talking. The politicians are talking about it. You know, but that's not something that they always just do overnight. But nonetheless, Isaiah 19 and 14, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. They have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. So everything, man, is just unrighteous and being done wrong. You know? Hey, man, people are going crazy out here, man. You know? Egypt is erring in every work. Society is perverse, you know? The child molesters getting less time than people who are, you know, committing different types of crimes. You know, people who are violating children are getting off, you know, and people that are involved in self-defense shootings are getting time. You know what I mean? This is the type of works that are of Satan, man, where people committing wicked. Adultery is not even illegal in America, you know. You can't even execute the law in America. It's wicked as hell, right? It says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail branch or rush may do. Now, here's the point, that there will be no work for Egypt soon. The money's going to be so bad, people going to do nothing but want to do nothing but pick up arms. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. There's enough people in America right now that know better, that know that taxation is theft. And at some point, you're going to touch their pockets to the point where they're going to feel some type of way and do something about it. Right? It says, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which she shaketh over it. Right? And then that day, man, Egypt is going to be America, a.k.a. America, is going to be like unto women, nothing but fearfulness, man. Weak, decrepit. A woman is weak in a dire situation. And America is that woman in a dire situation. Isaiah 47, make bare the leg. Sit down in the dust, O daughter Babylon. There is no throne. At one point, America lived deliciously. Now look, place is a piece of shit. Shit, the society's messed up. The food we're the only country where the elites that run this place feed us poison to kill us. We are the only first world country, so to speak, right? We're the only one of the world's superpowers that does not give their society free healthcare. Canada has free healthcare. Free healthcare. That's something that most Americans don't even think about. So that's a country that doesn't take care of its own citizens, a country that doesn't give a shit about its own citizens. 2 Esdras 15:10, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So because of the wickedness that America has committed, the Lord is going to plague it and destroy it. Now, before the ultimate plague, which is the missiles, which is to destroy all the land thereof, before that, the Lord is going to plague this place with what? Sedition, poverty, pestilence, famine, death, destruction. 2 Esdras 15:15, I'm going to skip down to verse 15. It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. That's a plague. That is not just something that's going to, little event. No. This is a plague. This is something that's going to overtake major cities, overtake certain towns in America. Right? For there shall be sedition among men. This is a plague. And invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Meaning people are going to do whatever the hell they want to do because you done robbed, raped, and murdered them. So these people are going to say F it and pick up their firearms and do something about it, right? It says they shall not regard their kings nor princes, meaning they don't give a shit about authority. F it. What they got to lose, right? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And we know it, oldie but goodie. That's that martial law scripture, man. When they lock it all down, look up Jade Helm 15. That shit ain't going nowhere. Look up how the FEMA camps, the FEMA sections, different zones they have for different states. That stuff ain't fake, man. That's public knowledge. This is stuff you can Google, man. It says, for because of their pride, cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. That's a plague. These are plagues. This is not some little event. This is the day of the Lord. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. That's a plague. That's famine, the lack of resources, and for great tribulation. So this is what's coming to America. That's America being destroyed from within, because there's people with enough sense to say, F it, bro. This ain't right. And they're going to kill police. ICE agents is going to get popped. The troops is going to kill Americans and vice versa. It's going to be terrible out here. This is what's going to happen to America because of all the wickedness that they've done to the Israelites. So America will explode from within before the missiles come. That's all I wanted to bring out real quick to the spirit, man. I hope this was edifying. I want to give all praises going on to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. B'Shem Chakadash, double honors to my elders and apostles, great millstone, which are the men that rule well and taught us his truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations as always be to the elect. Shalom.